Hi everybody, it's me again. I'm just getting on here to kind of update my last video. I think maybe some people get the wrong idea about my husband because there were certain things that I left out. The reason why my husband, who was my fiance at the time, was so concerned about me talking to another man was before I had my breakdown, I had cheated on him with another man, um, not by having a relationship with him, but by being physically intimate with another man. And I don't condone it. I don't agree with what I did. But in the process of forgiving me, he has struggled with trust, and because I hurt him so deeply like that, he obviously was trying to secure for himself whether or not I was true to my word about being faithful to him and wanting to be his wife and all that stuff. And, God forgive me for my sins and what I did. But, I don't. When he left, it was in my mind, like, when he went to Tennessee around the time I cheated on him with our son, he had told me prior that if he ever got the chance to leave California, he was never coming back. And so that instilled a fear in my mind and a distrust in my mind that he was not going to come back. And the fact that there were times when I'd call and he wouldn't answer, and I knew the time difference, and I knew when my husband would be awake, my fiance would be awake at the time, and when he would be asleep. So when he wouldn't answer his phone or respond to me in any way, it was very hard to believe that he was going to be coming back, and that instilled a fear in me. So when I get afraid in a relationship, I tend to rebel. And so I did have intimacy with another man to alleviate that pain inside of me, that fear inside of me, and that wasn't the best solution. I should have just tried harder to make contact with him, but I don't know what could have rectified that situation. I think I should have talked to him more about my fear of him not coming back and things like that, and maybe I could have saved myself from doing something really stupid. I don't want to make excuses for what I did, because what I did was wrong, and it was a breach of trust. But I'm going to have to suffer the consequences of that decision. And I have. And it's just, I've suffered the loss of his trust. I've gained it back, thankfully, but it's through persistent changes in the way I interact with men and the way I choose to hold myself in a high regard and respect myself and respect my spouse, that have made it so that we trust each other. My husband has never really given me a reason to distrust him, so at least he hasn't given me a reason to distrust him in our marriage, that's for sure. He did make a mistake, and I forgave him, and I've trusted him ever since. But you know, we all make mistakes in relationships, and the best way to kind of surpass that is to open your heart and your mind to forgiving the person, because it is one singular event, and it may never happen again. Obviously, if it continues to happen, you might want to get out of that relationship, but thankfully our relationship was not like that. And we have been happily married. We talk about our fears of, you know, relationships that we have. Like, I think you're getting too close to this person. I think that you need to put some distance between you and the other person and kind of let them know where you stand. And in my relationships with men, I make a firm stand about how I love my husband. I do not wish to leave my husband. I want to continue to be married to him, and that is my stance. And there is no way in heaven and earth that anyone's going to change my mind. I've made my decision on who I want to be my partner in life, and that is that. So when I get men in my life who tell me, oh, I love you, oh, you're pretty, oh, you're beautiful, all this stuff, it's nice, but it's like, you're just gonna make me want to put more distance between you and I, because I don't want to fall into a trap. And so it's really scary to be in those kinds of situations. If you're wondering what this is a bracelet that talks about my diagnosis and the medications I'm on. It's in case I have a breakdown, and I can't really vocalize what's going on. Somebody can see this and know what my diagnosis is and medications I'm on, and kind of get me help, and call my husband to let him know that I am in distress. So I make attempts to be very vocal about my disorder to people. I don't hide it. But I love my husband dearly. He's so understanding and so compassionate and so full of love, and he has forgiven me for so much, and I don't want my viewers, especially him, to think that I don't love him or respect him. I respect him highly. He took it upon himself to care for our child while I was in the hospital, and did an amazing job with coping with that during the 2 months I was sick. And then while I had to stay in San Diego, California, upon discharge, after my EAS, he left to go back to Knoxville and took our son with him. And so he was kind of the provider and caregiver for him while I had to stay in San Diego and make sure that my medical review board went well and that I got my medical discharge. So I'm medically retired, and I've been medically retired from the Marine Corps for about 3 years, going on 4. And I worked really hard with a lot of great people advising me on what I needed to do to get that. And I think it's fair to say that I earned my right there. I broke both my legs, fractured my collarbone, tore out my right shoulder, and then had a psychotic break and became diagnosed with bipolar disorder. And so I feel like it was kind of a real necessity. Like, I think I earned that rating. I earned that medical retirement. So I haven't had to serve in the inactive reserves because of being medically retired. And I've enjoyed the benefits of being a retired Marine by just, I have the ability to go on to any Naval, Marine Corps, Air Force, you name it, base, and just be seen by professionals for whatever ails me. I'm very thankful and very fortunate and very blessed to have that. And not a lot of people in the service get a chance to get that. And I worked really hard and fought really hard. And my family helped with fighting to maintain that. Because at one point they were going to pull it. And I was about to go through a review board with my case and let them know that I'm still struggling. I'm still dealing with psychosis, and I'm not normal. I'm far from it. Like, I'm as close to being normal as, a lemur is to being a human. There are a lot of same characteristics, but physically and mentally, there are differences. Like, when I have a breakdown, I become very physically violent, and usually I become physically violent towards myself. I become self-destructive, and my husband doesn't know what to do, so he tries to stop me. And in trying to stop me, he usually ends up avoiding the needs of our son, and I've vocalized my concerns about that to him, and he has been understanding, and he knows now that it's like I'd rather him care for our son and just let me do my thing. There's not much damage I can physically do to myself, but I don't want my son to see that, and he's been very understanding and compassionate about that, and just kind of taking care of Lonzo when I have those moments, if I have those moments. They are very rare as of late because obviously I'm not at school, I don't work at the moment. I don't start school until the 26th of August, so that's coming up. I have to pick up some books on the 22nd for my classes. I've already got some of the books that I need because I'm repeating some classes that I didn't get high marks in, and I want to improve those grades. And I'm trying to just live some semblance of a normal life and make a life for my family and just be the best that we can be. And my husband has been probably my biggest supporter, and without him I would be lost. And I realized that from when we broke up, like, I was lost, and without my other half of myself, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know up from down or left from right. So he's my rock, he is my pillar of strength, and I ever strive to be the person that I can be for him and for my son and for myself. The whole hijab thing, the modesty thing, yeah, it's in part to protect myself from unwanted attention from men, which in turn kind of alleviates any issues that might arise with my husband. But that's not the main purpose of my doing this. It's based on my religious faith and my religious choices and decisions. I don't have to wear the hijab if I don't want to. I don't have to be modest if I don't want to. But in the Quran it says that women should be pious with their bodies, and men should be pious too. Men wear hijabs also, but their hijab is to cover from their navel to their knee, meaning that they cover their private parts. And women are seen more sexually, so we have more sexual organs, like we have our breasts and we have our vagina, and then we have our hair, which can be a form of a body of lust for some men, an attraction for some men, because hair is attractive. Excuse me. Sorry, that's my alarm to take my morning medication. I've already taken it. So, I feel so bad when it comes on in the mornings and it interrupts me. But, yeah, I live off of alarms because sometimes I forget, and it's good to have alarms to kind of remind me, hey, you need to take your medication, because without my medication, I get a little off. So, thankfully I've already taken it. And I can't stop laughing. I've lost complete train of thought. So hair is seen as being a form of sexuality as well. So women cover their hair and just show their face. And I'm supposed to take my formal shahada on Friday, which is in a few days. And I've been fasting for Shwala this is day 3, and I have 3 more days of fasting. And it's kind of like I'm making up for not being able to fast for Ramadan, and it's kind of a rehearsal for next Ramadan to see if I can do it, to see if, like, I can manage my medication so that it works out and stuff like that. So, inshallah, it'll all be good. I'm not a terrorist, I swear. I'm just Muslim. I was born a Muslim. I converted to Christianity and then reverted to Islam. So that's my story about religion. You might hear me like talk about my religion more in later videos, because it's becoming a bigger part of my life. My faith is becoming a bigger part of my life, and it's helping me learn ways to kind of distract myself from all the negative thoughts and feelings, and just kind of pray about them instead, and just ask God to forgive me for feeling the way I feel, and giving me His guidance and strength and patience to get through those days that are bad. And I don't know if many of you know this, but when Muslims fast, they don't eat during the daylight hours. So from sunrise to sunset, they don't eat. When it's dark out, they eat like crazy. They like, the Muslim culture loves to eat. They love food. So don't think that I'm not eating. I'm just abstaining from food and drink during the daylight hours. So it's completely healthy. It just means I don't eat or drink during the daylight hours, and it's just a way of reminding you that there are people out there in the world who are starving and going and hungry and are thirsty and don't have the luxury of clean water and fresh food. So it's kind of just a way of humbling yourself and understanding that there are others out there who are suffering and your need to help them. And during Ramadan, like you're supposed to give to charities and stuff if you can't fast, and if you can fast, do it anyway. To help others break their fast. And it says that in the Sharia law to practice prayer and all that stuff. But Sharia law isn't stated in America. It's stated in other countries, like you have to pray. Like, there's no excuse. You have to pray 5 times a day at the designated hours. But America, this great free country that we live in, does not have Sharia law. And anyone who says that they live their life based on Sharia law in the United States is full of crap. Because Sharia law does not exist here. It's in their mind. So, if a Muslim woman chooses not to cover up or be modest, that is their prerogative and their choice, and it's not to be frowned upon. It's a life choice that they make. What else? I don't know what else I was going to talk about in this video this morning. You know, I kind of try and do this while my kid's asleep and my husband's asleep, because this is like the best time to really sit down and talk with y'all. But if you have comments or any sort of questions for me, whether it be about Islam or bipolar or both, leave them in the comment section. I love reading your all's comments and responding to them if you have them. Plus, please like these videos if you find them useful. I find that, you know, so many people watch them and they'll watch them all the way through, but they won't leave a comment, and they won't like it, and they won't do anything, so it's kind of like pointless. But please like, share, subscribe, comment, do whatever you want with this video. I know it's not the greatest quality. I'm just using my laptop because I'm not that technical. I've always been the person to say that computers are just giant paperweights, and I'd rather do things by hand. But we can't do that anymore. We have to move on and move into technology. And yeah, so if you have any questions, concerns, or just want to talk, like, feel free to leave a comment. Please like and share this video, and like and share any of the other videos that are in this playlist. May God bless you and bring peace upon your life. And if you don't believe in God, well, peace be upon you anyway. Like, I ask for God to give you peace, and that you have a blessed day, and that you know, in future days that you all are happy, and that maybe through me you can find your own happiness, your own way to happiness, because again, happiness is the gift you give yourself. So you'll hear me say that a lot, but it's my favorite quote, and I love the fact that it is from somebody who helped me. So until next time, have a good day, and